Hi, I'm Kat. Welcome to my channel. You can find a written version of this recipe by visiting my website, 3catsfoodie.com. When winter hits, we crave hearty comfort food. This cottage pie will do just that. We have here ground beef in delicious thick gravy, topped with a generous layer of creamy mashed potatoes. You can see why cottage pie is one of my husband's favorite dishes. Let's start by chopping a very large stick of celery. We want them nice and fine, so they pretty much melt into the gravy. Next, one giant carrot, also chopped finely. Or, like me, you could just grate them. We also need one large onion, finely chopped. I used 2 small onions. We can't go without garlic. 3 large cloves, minced finely. Cottage pie is a great way to hide veggies. Great if you have little ones that like to pick out veggies they can see. Heat a tablespoon of olive oil, then add 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of ground beef. Brown the beef over high heat and break it up while doing so. Regular beef contains a good amount of fat. That's why we don't need much oil. Time to season the meat, half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Once the beef has browned, add the garlic and onions. Cook for a minute or so, or until the onions softens. Add the celery and carrots. Cook for 3 minutes. Stir in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I also like to add 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I love my pies with loads of ketchup, so why not add some to the sauce? Sprinkle 2.5 tablespoons of plain or all-purpose flour. Then, pour in half a cup of your favorite cheap red wine. I'm now adding 700 milliliters of salt-reduced beef stock. Low-sodium stock gives us more control over the salt level in our dishes. Let's now pop in a crumbled beef stock cube, 1 tablespoon of the famous Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon each of dried thyme and rosemary. You can swap with fresh ones if you wish. Bring to a boil, then reduce the heat to low. Softly simmer for 30 minutes. Remember to stir occasionally so it doesn't get caught at the bottom. As you can see, the sauce has reduced a lot, but I want to get the sauce thicker and gravy-like. To do this, increase the heat to high and stir quickly. The sauce will reduce further, leaving a thick, gravy-like sauce. This looks just about right. Have a taste. Add more salt and pepper to your liking if needed. Transfer the meat into a large 8-cup baking dish. We can hardly see the veggies. They've broken down into the flavorful gravy. Smooth the top, then leave at room temperature. The sauce will get thicker as it cools down. In the meantime, let's prepare the mashed potatoes. For a generous mashed potato topping, we need 1.5 kilo of potatoes. Chop them into large chunks, roughly the same size so they cook evenly. Place the potatoes in a pot and cover them in water by approximately 2 inches. Place over high heat, bring to a boil, and cook for about 15 minutes. While that's happening, let's grate some strong cheddar cheese. Parmesan or any other kinds of melty cheese would work well here. Let's go back to the potatoes. They should be soft and be easily mashed with a fork. This is exactly how I want them. Drain the potatoes and shake off any remaining water. We don't want soggy mashed potatoes. Return the potatoes back to the pot and let the steam help dry the potatoes for about 60 seconds. Mash in 20 grams of butter and 50 grams of cheese until the butter and cheese melts into the potatoes. Add 2/3 cup of full cream milk and half a teaspoon of salt. Continue to mash until combined, with no lumps of potatoes remaining. Have a taste and add more salt or pepper to your liking if needed. Scoop the creamy mash and place it over the beef. Smooth the mash evenly on top. Use a fork to roughen up the surface. Doing this gives the mash a lovely texture. It doesn't have to look too fancy, but I think just doing this still looks pretty darn good. I'm just going to finish this off with more grated cheese over the mash. Bake the cottage pie in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 40 minutes. The pie should have a light golden surface with a hot filling underneath. Visit me at 3catsfoodie.com. You'll find a written recipe with a clear, step-by-step guide and tips. I have also converted the cooking measurements so it's user-friendly. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.